Did you know that the Euphrates River holds a significant symbol that warns us about the approaching end? According to the Bible, during the final days, the mighty Euphrates River will dry up and serve as a sign. While it may not be completely dry at the moment, observing the river's condition before and after reveals something intriguing. Check this out. Have you ever wondered what this symbol represents? It is known as the Omega or the End. Despite its significance, numerous individuals are unwilling to accept this truth, but
a catastrophic 7.8 magnitude earthquake has killed up to 5,000 people in Turkey and neighboring country Syria. The earthquake struck Turkey and Syria on Monday morning, leveling buildings and causing tremors felt as far away as Greenland. It was quickly followed by a powerful 7.6 quake and dozens of aftershocks that wiped out entire sections of major Turkish cities. The quake hit Turkey in a region filled with millions who had fled the civil war in Syria. Thousands of buildings have been damaged and infrastructure has been destroyed. Communication is currently limited in the area. There is a huge concern that there are people trapped under the rubble and weather conditions are expected to dip below freezing, with many left shelterless. The quake is believed to be the strongest to hit Turkey since 1939, when an earthquake of the same magnitude killed 30,000 people. Britain and countries in Europe have urgently sent in rescue teams to help.
Government reports have said that the Tigris and Euphrates River are looking to be dried up completely by 2040. But things are accelerating, and as I'm showing you this footage, that you can see things are speeding up more than we even previously imagined. According to the national news, on December 2nd of 2021, Iraq could have no rivers by 2040, the government report warned. But Earth is becoming warmer and warmer, and more crazy things are coming to pass, and everything we are experiencing. Temperatures increase all across the world. We are seeing these end times prophecies.
Revelation 9 verse 14, that 4 angels are bound under the Euphrates River, and when they're released, they will kill 1/3 of mankind. They will be accompanied by an army of horsemen, and the number of them is 200 million. Revelation 9, 16 through 19.
What comes to your mind when I mention West Asia? Conflict, regional rivalries maybe? Today, we are focusing on another issue that is plaguing West Asia, and that's climate change. Millions in Syria and Iraq are facing water shortages as the region's longest river, the Euphrates, dries up. Israel and Jordan have been engaging in drought diplomacy over scarce water resources, while Kuwait is converting the world's largest tire dump into a city. The Euphrates has been the cradle of civilization in West Asia. The river has been the lifeline for millions in Iraq and Syria for thousands of years. But now it has sunk to a historic low, sparking the region's worst water crisis in years. Our next report tells you more.
The mighty Euphrates River used to near Khaled al-Hamis's farm. But now the river is only visible from a distance. The crops have been destroyed due to the lack of irrigation. Even worse, the farmer's family has been left without drinking water.
We are completely deprived of drinking water. The women have to walk 7 kilometers just to get a bucket of water for their children to drink.
Al-Hamis is among millions of Syrians who depend on West Asia's longest river, Euphrates. Water levels in the river have hit record lows. Neighboring Iraq has also been affected. Both Iraq and Syria have been dry countries. Despite this, the current drought is unprecedented. Rainfall has declined by 70%. Environmentalists are calling it the region's worst water crisis in years.
12 million people in Syria and Iraq are struggling with this, the worst water crisis in years that we have seen. So especially, this is, the water table is at its lowest, 70% less rainfall, and this has really wide ramifications for health. It has wide ramifications because drinking water isn't safe.
The issue is not limited to drinking water shortage. Critical facilities like hospitals are at risk of facing power outages. This as the drought is threatening to bring hydroelectric power plants to a halt.
Power shortages affect people's lives and forces them to use fuel oil. In addition, in the summer when it's hot, people need more electricity. With pumping stations and power generation stations out of service, hundreds of thousands of hectares of agricultural lands are affected, as well as the vegetable, maize and cotton seasons.
And activists warn that situation is likely to worsen due to a lack of water resource management in the war-torn countries. Bureau Report, We On, Wild is One.
Euphrates River has been drying up for years. However, since 2020, the decreasing of the water flow is very alarming. Downstream in Iraq, 7 million people risk losing access to water. 5 million people depending on Euphrates for water are ingesting liquid that is unsafe. Waterborne disease outbreaks are on the rise, and contaminated water has caused diarrhea in the regions. In some communities, animals have started to die. Iraq is clearly in the midst of water crisis, with desertification affecting 40% of Iraq territory. A very high temperature is becoming very common and dust storm more intense. Rainfall has reduced greatly in recent years. Farmers are fatigued and feeling hopeless. The water levels of the Euphrates River is the lowest level in recorded history. From this video, you can see clearly the Euphrates River has stopped flowing to Iraq and Syria. Many people believe this happened because Turkey have built more than 22 dams upstream the Euphrates River. Peoples in Iraq and Syria feel like they are living in the desert. Water is very rare. Their mighty rivers Euphrates and Tigris have left barely without water. Many peoples are leaving their region because there is no water left to drink and to irrigate their farm. Many people accuse Turkey for weaponizing water by reducing the water flow. In fact, it is not happening. Turkey has never reduced the amount of water it released from its transboundaries river for political or other purposes. Turkish officials say that the region is facing the worst drought period due to lack of rainfall and the lowest in the last 30 years. Religion leaders are looking for answers in the Holy Scriptures. Surprisingly, the drying up of Euphrates River has been mentioned 1,000 years ago in the Holy Bible. The drying up of Euphrates River is the sign of the apocalypse. Bible scholars have offered various interpretations of Bible passages about the Euphrates River drying up. Some see it as a sign of the end time, which lead up to when Jesus will return to judge the world and separate the righteous from the weak. It means the Euphrates River drying up may point to the unleashing of the forces of darkness on the world. It could be referring to when the Antichrist will gather his armies to invade Israel. In that scenario, the dry riverbed of the Euphrates can allow the armies to cross the river and attack Israel. Revelation 16 verse 12 says, "The sixth angel poured out his bowls on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the king from the east." This prophecy not only identifies as the judgment but also gives the reason for it. So a great army to the east can cross the Euphrates unimpeded. Next, the king of the earth gathered to the place that in Hebrew is called Armageddon. At that point, Jesus returned, and the battle fought at Armageddon will result in all God's enemies being destroyed. A key event leading up to Armageddon is the drying up of the Euphrates River. What do you think? Leave in the comments.